You're listening to the Screaming Pods Network.
This episode, we're going to do something a little different. We've done something like this before for our mini-sode, but we got a really warm response for what we shared. I mean, well, I guess a really creeped out response. And a lot of you, I know, enjoyed it, so we wanted to bring it back.
Are you going to make me listen to creepy sounds again?
Yes. Yes. Your two favorite creepy audiophiles have returned. This is Creepy Audiophiles Part 2. The not-so-mini-sode.
Oh, that means I get to listen to even longer files.
There's going to be a lot this time. Yeah.
Awesome. And if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Jill, and with me I have Ben.
Yep, I am Ben.
And how this works is Ben found a whole lot of creepy sounds recordings. I'm not really sure what to expect because guess what? I haven't listened to them yet.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the internet looking around. Some of these were left over from the first time we did this, but so I guess this time it's more or less just like creepy recordings of scary things that happened. And we'll kind of talk about the details and not so much, I guess, the history, but just the circumstances surrounding these things. And like before, Jill, you haven't heard any of these. And you don't know what you're going to hear.
In my mind, I am a kid at heart. I will always have just the biggest imagination, and sometimes it does not serve me well. So these audio files and recordings are going to stick with me. And the next time I'm laying in bed and I hear something, I hear like the cat making noise out in the living room, I'm going to think it's something that relates to one of these weird situations.
Yeah, you're not going to hear anything graphic or anybody like being murdered in a recording of that or anything.
Thank God.
But we will be hearing some very disturbing and chilling things.
Great.
So let's get right to it. We'll start off probably about as disturbing as you can get. This case.
Why are we starting out so hard?
Well, I think just in terms of like things that can happen to you, this is the case of the possession of Annalise Michel. This story, I think, was portrayed in the film The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh no, that was a brutal movie.
Yeah. It was a brutal thing that happened. So somewhere in Bavaria, Germany in 1975, 23-year-old Annalise Michel underwent 10 months of exorcisms. When she was 16, she suffered a very violent seizure, and she was eventually diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. She was later checked into a psychiatric facility by her parents after she suffered a few more seizures, and then she started hallucinating and eventually fell into a brutal psychosis. One article I read said she was often found eating bugs and drinking her own urine.
Oh, that kind of sounds more like along the lines of being schizophrenic.
Well, yeah, here's the kicker. Her parents tried treatment after treatment, medication, and after nothing seemed to be working, they enlisted the help of a Catholic priest by the name of Ernst Alt. He assured them that their daughter had indeed fallen victim to demonic possession, and
What's the test there? How do you know?
That's a great question.
Like, how do you diagnose that?
Well, he had to make his case to like the church and kind of convince them that he wanted to do an exorcism. And the first couple of times he made his case, they were like, "No, we don't think so." And then I guess she started like vomiting blood and stuff, or
well, that sounds like
something.
she has an ulcer.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
She's probably under a lot of stress.
Well,
keep switching her medication.
Well.
Sorry.
Speaking of audiophiles, he decided to record. I don't know if it was every session, but he has hours of audio from the 10 months that he was trying to exorcise this quote-unquote demon out of her. Here are some excerpts from the tapes.
Oh gosh, I'm not ready.
Und in den Familien.
So that's her. At this time, she's 23 years
Oh
old.
my god, I just jumped.
Du, der sagt mir das. Nein! Ich bin Nero. In der dritte im Bunde. Sie müssen mit in eine Scheißkassette. Und zwar mit allen zu dem Scheiß gelogen.
She's just swearing at the guy in German. This priest.
Und dann?
I've never heard of a German demon.
Well, one part, I don't know if I have it in here. She yells, "I am Nero."
Oh.
I don't know exactly who that is.
Isn't he?
Nein!
Is he from the Matrix?
Nero, not Neo.
Schmeiß überall raus. Aber zum Glück geht ja fast niemand mehr. Nein, das Scheißding.
In was? In Beispiel? Persönliche Beichte. Und bekennen.
Nein!
Sage die Wahrheit im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes.
Ja! Ja!
Du sagst noch mehr jetzt im Namen des Vaters und des Sohnes des Heiligen Geistes. Im Namen Jesu und im Namen Maria befehle
Well, to make things even a little more dark, after her parents stopped all medical treatment, Annalise began to deteriorate very quickly. When it was all over, weighing only 68 pounds,
Oh no.
Annalise Michel had died from malnutrition and dehydration.
Oh.
Her parents and the priest were later charged with negligent homicide for failing to treat her obvious mental condition. The priests were found guilty of manslaughter, but never served their jail time.
That's really
Yeah,
sad.
it's a super sad story.
Wow, way to bum me out right at the start of the episode, man.
But still, I mean, people listen to those tapes and they're convinced she was possessed. Some people say, like, she did succumb to... And that's what the priests argued in court. But I don't know how it works over there. The jury and the judge, whoever, did not really think that was valid defense.
Yeah, I don't know what my feelings on possession really are. I mean, I want to believe that there's something putting a person through as much pain as they would need to sound like that. But man, that's so sad if it was related to mental health and just wasn't treated.
I know that kind of makes it worse.
Yeah,
Still
it makes
scary.
it even more scary.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
not-
anything uplifting on your list there?
nope, it's not
Okay.
getting any better from here.
All right, let's do it.
So the next topic, moving from exorcism, is 911 calls.
Yes. Okay, I actually love these. My dad made us listen to one of those dispatch radios
Oh my
all
god,
the time.
no way.
Yeah.
Well, you can't hear 911 calls.
Well, no, but I mean,
It's like commands from dispatch to like the cops and
yeah,
fire
I know,
department
but
and stuff.
still, they go kind of hand in hand because in order
Okay.
for a 911 call to happen,
Yeah, these none of these are like people pleading for their lives or being murdered or anything.
Thank
but
you.
Some of this stuff is going to be a little scary. But I'll give you a warning before we do any of that. All right, so first up,
Are any of these paranormal type scary?
well, that's for you to decide.
Oh man, cool. All right.
This first one potentially, but this could also just like fuel the murder mystery crime nut in you. This case I like to call "What Happened to Brandon Lawson." So during the early morning of August 9th, 2013, a man named Brandon Lawson went missing somewhere along US 277 between San Angelo and Brant, Texas, leaving behind a wife and 4 children. He is still missing to this day. What's worse, he almost vanished without a single trace of evidence. Almost. The one thing he left behind? A frantic phone call placed to 911 emergency services just before disappearing.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. I checked it to the woods. 3:30.
Okay, now run that by me.
We're not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello?
Those sound like
Hello?
gunshots to you? Some people think those are gunshots.
Hello?
Oh man, it kind of sounded, yeah, it could have been.
A lot of people have scrutinized this tape and have, like, posted their theories and thoughts on what happened. It's very hard to make out what he says, but the gist of it is he was driving and I think his truck broke down.
Yeah.
And he ran into some people who, I guess, started chasing him. And then maybe more people who were with them that also started chasing him, coming in from
gang?
both sides or whatever he was saying. And then other people say at the part where she asked if he's hurt or if he needs an ambulance, some people think there's a second voice that says no or laughs or something. And then he says, I need the cops. So I'm going to play it again and try to listen for a second voice.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. I checked it to the woods. 3:30.
Okay, now run that by me.
We're not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Right here.
Yes, no, I need the cops.
Okay.
Hear that?
Is anybody hurt?
I think he said no.
Hello? Hello?
Nobody ever saw him again.
Hello?
No trace.
Nothing.
What about his truck?
I think they found it on the side of the road, but he was gone. Missing case of Brandon Lawson.
That makes me afraid to drive anywhere.
Well, I don't know if that's like a really, sketchy part of Texas. It's a huge state. Like, I know there are sections of interstate where you can go an hour with not seeing a gas station or anything.
Right.
I don't know. Scary.
Yeah.
Scary place to be.
Yeah.
Scary place to break down.
I have broken down on the side of the road before in the middle of like a snowstorm. I was actually kind of nervous when the person who stopped to help me stopped because he was like a big, not scary, but like a big trucker guy, and he had a huge truck, and like he didn't even like say a word. He just
But if you
pulled
were-
over, jumped out, grabbed a shovel, and
If you were looking for somebody to prey on, I mean, that's somebody who is already vulnerable
right,
on the side of the road.
right. And I was kind of out in the middle of the boonies
There you
when
go.
it broke down. I think one car passed us while he was helping.
Same with this guy. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a whole missing Brandon Lawson project. I'll post some links to it on the website. Take a look and see if you can help. So this next series of 911 phone calls, it's a little more exciting, but still a little grim.
Oh, great.
So this is, I call it the McCombs family and the Wimberley flood.
Oh.
In May 2015, Laura McComb, her husband, and their 2 children were vacationing in Wimberley, Texas, with some friends for Memorial Day weekend. When all of a sudden, a violent and tragic storm hit the area. It downpoured so much, the nearby Blanco River rose almost 30 feet. The water surrounded the McComb family in their cabin. Laura McComb placed this call into 911 a little after 11 o'clock that night.
Hey, County 911, do you need police fire EMS? Hi, we are, I'm not sure where we're located. We're on the Blanco River in Wimberley, and the water is up to the 2nd story into the house.
Laura's husband, Jonathan McComb, places the next call when the waters begin to rise to the 2nd story.
We need emergency rescue. The river is flooded around the house. We're at the bottom of
I didn't
What's
put
the
in this
address?
music.
road.
What's the address of the emergency?
I don't address. We're at the bottom of Deer Crossing Road. We're running out of breathing room.
Okay, if you can, I need you to go up, if you can get on the roof of your residence.
A few minutes later, the unthinkable happens. Their cabin breaks away from the foundation and begins floating down the river. This is the last call Laura McComb placed to 911.
Hello? Our house is down. We're floating.
So what's your address? Where are you located?
We're Deer Crossing in River. Our house is off the thing. We're floating. Maybe got 3 boxes in the house.
Okay, we do have a call from Deer Crossing. We're going to get out there as soon as we can. Are you on the roof of your house, or where are you located?
Then the call goes dead. A concerned neighbor actually saw their cabin floating along the floodwaters and called 911 himself.
Yes, my name's Brian. I'm in Wimberley. I'm on Loma Vista. A house just went by with the river, and there's a person in it with a spotlight.
So there's a house on the river?
A house, yes, just went by through the river, and there was someone in it with a bright light trying to flash us. Yeah, I mean, that bridge, they've already hit the bridge, I'm sure.
Jonathan McComb would later be found alive with a punctured lung and broken ribs. He was the lone survivor. His 2 children are still considered missing to this day.
So, I guess just don't ever go to Texas.
Who would have thought, though, like drastic flooding? I mean,
I know.
I don't know if devastating floods happen often in Texas, but yeah.
That's heartbreaking. I know we did an episode about, the dangers of traveling and the scary things that happen when you travel. But you never really think about having to battle with Mother Nature while you're on vacation. I mean, the worst thing you have to plan for is some rain, but I guess a little too much. That's just devastating for that whole family. Wow, you really know how to bring someone down.
I'm not meaning to bring anybody down. I'm just saying this is scary stuff. I mean, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, I don't ever think I'll stay in a cabin ever again. Ever again.
Well, I'm not ready to bring you back up just yet. I promise it's coming. We got another whole topic after this clip. This is the last 911 call. I mean, the topic is 911 calls. It's not going to be happy-go-lucky shit. I mean, I did find a lot of stuff that was like funny, unbelievable 911 phone calls. I didn't listen to any of those. I probably should have.
Do your worst.
All right, so goddamn, I will give a warning for this one. It's a little graphic.
No,
you don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I won't play it if you don't want to hear it.
I want to hear it. I'm putting my big girl pants on.
So this is the Jake Evans 911 phone call. I'll let it speak for itself. It gets into it pretty quickly. And this is your last warning. This is disturbing.
Placer County 911, where's your emergency?
My house,
What's the address?
152 River Creek Lane.
Okay, what's the emergency?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
What?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
You just killed your mother and your sister? How did you do that?
I shot him with a .22 revolver.
And what is your name?
Jake Evans.
Jay Evans?
Jake Evans.
Are you sure they're dead?
Yes.
I want you to stay on the phone with me, okay? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Hold on just a minute. Where is the gun?
It's on the kitchen counter.
Okay. It's a .22?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Jake?
Yes.
Are you on any kind of medication?
No. Well, I've been going to the allergist a lot lately.
Yeah.
With my mom.
but no, nothing other than that.
Okay, how old are you?
17.
17
You don't
years
take any
old.
other
It's
kind
just
of
like
medication?
a regular
I
conversation.
mean, other than like Zyrtec and like Advil and, you know, like Sudafed and stuff like that, you know, for the allergies and headaches, but
Yeah.
no.
Not a big
Okay,
deal
do
for
you,
this kid.
is there any reason that you were so angry at your mother and your sister?
I don't know, I wasn't, it's weird, I wasn't even really angry with them. It just kind of happened. I've been kind of planning on killing for a while now. And,
The two of them, or just anybody?
pretty much anybody.
Were your mom and sister in their beds?
No, this is really gonna mess me up for this, you know, in the future. See, my sister, I told my sister that my mom needed her.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her room, and she came out of her room, and I shot her, and she rolled down the stairs, and I shot her again, and then I went down and I shot my mom about maybe 3 or 4 times, but I'll never forget this.
Okay, that's fine.
My sister, she came down the stairs and she was screaming, and I was telling her that I'm sorry, but to just hold still.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, I was just gonna make it go away, you know, but she just kept on freaking out. But finally she fell down and I shot her in the head about probably 3 times.
So they're both downstairs?
Yes.
Okay, where are you?
In the kitchen.
Okay.
Presumably he's standing just feet away from the bodies while he's making this phone call.
He just sounded so nonchalant about the whole thing.
Yeah, like shit. He just wanted to kill. That was it.
I don't think I could ever have kids. That's scary.
It's scary. Like, to think, your own child could be thinking that. Parents, talk to your kids.
Yeah. Wow, what
Ask them if they want to kill things.
Well, man. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, well, hey, guess what we're talking about now?
What?
Aliens and UFOs.
Oh, Ben's favorite
yeah,
topic.
I got some good shit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make you forget all about what you just heard and give you some new nightmares.
Awesome.
So first up, we're going to discuss an alleged close encounter with a couple of men in black. Security cameras at a hotel in Maryland where this event allegedly took place captured footage that corroborate the story. Otherwise, I don't know much about its origin, but it appears to be a hotel employee describing their strange encounter with 2 gentlemen that easily could have been from another planet.
One of my bellmen approached me, and he kind of had a weird look on his face, and he said to me, can we go in your office and talk? I brought him into my office, and he says, something really weird happened here yesterday, and you weren't here. He said, there's a couple guys in here looking for you. And I said, a couple guys? What do you mean? And he said, well, this is really hard for me to say. He said, but there's a couple really strange-looking men that were here, and they kind of freaked everybody out, and they were asking questions about you. And, of course, now I'm getting a little bit nervous, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, they were, he goes, I don't know how to describe them except for extremely odd-looking. They were really, really tall, he said, and they were identical height. They were the exact same height. They were wearing the exact same clothes, and they had the exact same faces, like they were twins. And he said they were wearing black suits, black trench coats. They were wearing like the old-fashioned Federo hats. They
had extremely, extremely pale skin. And he said they came in and they looked around a little bit and they asked for you. And I said, I'm sorry, he's actually not working today. And it seemed like they didn't believe me, so they started to walk around the hotel, and shortly after they went to the tour desk, and he goes, I got busy. I started to have to bring cars around and get luggage, and by the time I came back, they were gone. But he goes, they freaked me out, and I really wanted to tell you that there were these weird guys in here looking for you. So, of course, now I'm a little bit skeptical and I'm a little bit freaked out all at the same time. So the first thing I do is I run into my security office, because I know how to work the security system, and I rewound the cameras, and sure enough, here comes two gentlemen through the front door looking exactly how he described. Then the next day, I was talking with my tour desk, and one of them asked to talk to me. She came in my office, the same as my bellman, and she said, I need to tell you about something that happened. I heard that you heard that there were some men looking for you. And I said, yes. And she said, they asked a few questions about you, and they said strange things that I didn't understand. And they were talking about governments and conspiracies, and none of it made any sense to me. But she goes, they were very, very scary. And I said, well, why were they scary? And she said, they had no facial hair, none. She said they had no eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing. Their hair looked like they had a wig on, like it was attached to their hat, like it wasn't even real. And she said, and the scariest thing, their eyes were so big and so blue that they almost hypnotized me a little bit. And she goes, and you're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but I swear they knew what I was thinking. I swear. And I don't think I'm crazy, but I don't even know how they could do it, and I don't know why I'm even telling you this. She goes, so I started to think about things other than you, and I don't even know if it worked. And she started to cry, and she said one more thing before she left. She said, these men, they didn't blink. Not once did I see them blink.
Oh my gosh, I just want to come across one. Like,
high strangeness, man.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I mean, the hotel business is kind of weird. I know I've shared some of my experiences working in hotels. But, oh man, just like, that irks me.
That's a new one, yeah. To have, I don't know, a couple of cosplayers come in and start weirding people out.
This could be a new hobby for us.
Hey man, I mean, whatever.
Gotta practice walking on stilts.
Whatever entertains you.
Right.
All right, so continuing with the topic of UFOs, this is a recording from earlier this year in February concerning a UFO over Arizona. Somewhere 40,000 feet above the Arizona-New Mexico border, a Learjet pilot with Phoenix Air witnessed something so bizarre, he made this call into air traffic control.
Albuquerque, 71 Papa Golf.
Number 71 Papa Golf, go ahead.
Bobdole.
Was anybody above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago?
Number 71 Papa Golf, negative.
Okay. Something did. A UFO. Yeah.
American 1095, let me know if you see anything pass over you here in the next 15 miles.
You know if anything passes over?
American 1095, affirmative. We had an aircraft in front of you that's 37 that reported something passed over him, and we didn't have any targets, so just let me know if you see anything pass over you.
I don't know what it was. It wasn't an airplane, but it passed us going the opposite direction. Hey, it's American 1095. Yeah, something just passed over us. Like I don't know what it was, but it's at least 3,000 feet above us. So yeah, it passed right over the top of us.
Okay, American 1095, thank you.
Yes, Center, Delta 1755, checking in 320.
And Delta 1755, Albuquerque Center. And American 1095, can you tell if it was in motion or just hovering?
Make it out whether it was a balloon or whatnot, but it was just really either bright or had a big reflection on it several thousand feet above us going opposite directions.
Okay, roger.
Was it a Google balloon? UFO.
When the pilots are saying UFO, I mean, those guys spend more time in the sky than anybody else.
Right. I'd have to say they're pretty credible sources for what they see.
I have a question, though. What the fuck is a Google balloon?
A Google balloon. Is that like a satellite like Google Earth?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Google's
Maybe they
everywhere.
have, like, yeah, a little
I love Google.
satellite. That's how they get those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're doing, Google.
Have you ever seen, like, the dead bodies that show up on the Google satellite?
Is that real?
Fudge, yeah, it is.
Fudge, yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to be a little more ladylike.
Oh. Well, ladies love fudge. Okay, let's stay on...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind some good fudge.
Next up, this recording took place a few months later over Long Island in New York. This pilot gets a good look at what he sees, but he can't even venture a guess as to what it is.
Dear approach 161 Mike Alpha. I have an object in front of me. I don't know what it is.
You mean like a drone or something?
Don't know if it's a drone, but it's bigger than a drone.
All right, well, Mike Alpha, I don't show anything on radar. Looks like it's at your altitude.
Affirmative.
Do you need to turn or do anything?
I need to make a slight left turn.
That's fine, sir. And then I guess whenever you can, just let me know what you think it is.
Will do.
November 1 Mike Alpha is still not sure what it was?
Now it's gone behind the clouds. I have no idea what it is. Definitely something was there.
Okay, I mean, I'll have to assume that it was a drone. That's the only, I mean, I don't know if that's a safe assumption or not, but I guess that's what we'll go by.
Actually, it looks like it had lights on it.
That's really interesting. Again, still show nothing on radar, so I don't know what to say.
Okay, and I'm not delusional.
I wonder what it feels like to be flying up there and all of a sudden find a potential threat.
Yeah.
In the sky. He handled that pretty well.
Right? Yeah. Just like, I need to make a slight left turn. There's an alien in my way. But yeah, what can you do? I mean, you're up there. You just have to, man, I can't even imagine.
Stay calm and roll with the punches.
Yeah. Well, that was it for the topic of UFOs and really all the files I pulled. I did find a couple other things, but I'm pretty sure they're largely fabricated, and I don't know.
Ooh, we should do a fabricated episode.
Fabricated audio files?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if you happen to know of any amazing creepy audio files that maybe we haven't shared yet, let us know about it. Or if you have your own recording, submit your story behind it. You can find the submission page on our website at thefire.com. And you can also DM me on Twitter at _the_fire.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. We'd love to bring you another one.
This is actually kind of fun. I don't know. I feel like I'm scarred after listening to a couple of those.
Yeah.
But at least we're all scarred together.
Just, you're glad you didn't hear all the things I ruled out.
Oh,
like,
I don't want to know.
It gets vile.
I'm done. I'm over it. I don't want to know. Let's take it like closer to a PG rating next time. And as always, my name is Jill.
And this has been
Thank you for joining us.
At the Fire.
Kirche hat hiermit anerkannt.
Wann wird es anerkannt?
Überhaupt nicht, das haben wir Ihnen völlig gebraucht.
Sage die volle Wahrheit.
You're listening to the Screaming Pods Network.